And we are live. Hey everyone, welcome to a Tuesday night watch chat. Not your typical Tuesday night watch chat that you've been watching for the last few months, maybe almost like a year. I think we've been kind of doing this, but gonna try a new little crew here for now. or not so, or not a. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying, guys. I don't know. We're just gonna have some fun tonight, okay? Um, but I for the foreseeable near future, I'll be doing the Tuesday night watch chat tonight, and I'm gonna move away from doing the Friday night. I can't do three chats a week. I love doing the Sunday chat, the watch soup. I don't want to give up that, and Sanjay is such a great co-host there with me. So Tuesday and Sundays will be my chat days until the foreseeable future. So anyway, let's move on past that little shopkeeping note. Chaz, how are you, sir? How you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing great. Typical Tuesday when you had a long weekend, which means you have twice as much work to do
Yeah,
to cover up for your day off. So, but
yeah,
good Tuesday. Glad to be with you.
yeah. You're putting a lot of work in the streams lately, huh?
Yeah, you guys are really desperate. That's all I can say. You having to get down the bottom of the barrel. So,
Stop,
uh,
stop. You're a fan favorite, Chaz.
no.
Everybody's asking next time you want to know when you're coming on next. So, what do you got on wrist today?
I've got the Planet Ocean, the Omega, and
Very nice.
really like this watch. I actually did not have it on most of the day, but I brought it tonight because I got my first major award that I've ever actually received from Sanjay, Engineer Wannabe, and he
Nice.
got this all the way from. It's not only an Omega hat; it's a Canadian Omega hat, which makes it more valuable. The only thing is, I'm going to have to mail it back to him because he forgot to autograph it. So, but thank you again, Sanjay. What a good man, what a good friend, and what a kind gesture. I have a my first major award that I've actually received.
Well,
So,
congratulations.
thank you.
Congrats. Very
Yeah.
cool.
um,
Congrats.
Another person who's doing a lot of stream time lately, and that's Clayton from the Watchdog Podcast. Clayton, how you doing today?
Now this is bottom of the barrel, Chaz.
No.
I'm doing well. Re-entry Tuesday again, always tough. It seems like people don't exercise their dogs after 3 days of not hanging out with me. They were crazy today, man.
Yeah,
Rare form. So, but it's good. It's all good.
good, awesome. What do you got on wrist tonight?
I got the Happy Feet Seiko Monster, the
Oh yeah.
SRPG
Oh,
570 Save the Ocean Antarctica. So I don't know if you can pick it up, but the little penguin
yeah.
prints in there. Yeah.
Oh,
That's
that's
nice.
very,
Yeah, I like
very,
it.
very cool. Very cool. And another regular on the Saturday night stream with Sanjay, and sometimes he comes on to the Friday or Tuesday night stream. Bobby, how you doing, buddy? You're on mute.
I'm doing
Yeah,
well.
yeah, nice.
I'm actually doing pretty well. But I'm outside the barrel, like beyond the barrel, seeked underneath onto the floor. I'm from the puddle on the floor. Yeah, I'm doing well, Bobby.
Good, Ben. I hope you had a great weekend. What do you have on wrist tonight?
So I have becoming a favorite of mine, but the Moser Green Dragon.
Oh man.
And it's also been a favorite of mine. I I love that watch, and I love when you wear it,
Yeah,
man.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. I think Bobby is frozen there, but that's okay. I'm sure he'll come back.
That's
Oh, there he is.
what
Okay.
a watch.
Yeah, yeah. That's an awesome watch, man. Fast watch fast day 99, huh? Wow.
yes. Tomorrow's the 100th
Amazing.
day.
Wow.
No
Yeah.
man.
But you've been kind of I've read or not read. I mean, we've talked. You've been slipping. I mean, well, not slipping, but you've been thinking about breaking that, huh?
Well, I do have to say that today I am longa-less. I get I had to get rid of the longa. That was a sad day for me today too.
Oh man.
Wow.
What
Wow.
happened? What happened?
Yeah, I love the back case back. I love longa as a brand, but the the legibility I just realized legibility is a big factor for me, and the gray on gray on gray sometimes can get too much, and like even I can't
Wow.
even like sometimes I had to look at squint the watch in a different angle to look at the time.
Wow.
Um,
Hmm.
Beautiful watch, but I felt like what I don't know if I can take this long term, and it was internal. I know
Wow.
internally just pulling me apart.
Oh
So
man.
I'm still on the watch fast though. So I got it's just
Yeah,
it's
but
maybe
that's gotta. I'm sure that accelerates your your timeline a little bit
Yeah.
now,
well
right?
it keeps me like how you plan for other things like you so I just it's like the squirrel that buries the nut and then when it comes up maybe wintertime maybe when the right opportunity hits. But again,
Would you go longer again if you can?
um it depends. It depends on the group best. And I've had this dilemma with certain colors of watches. I like this. This is a good example here. The Moser Green. Before this Moser Green, I collect the best color green. I had the Panerai
Hmm.
1055 and the Moser Pioneer. And I felt like that when I wore this, I was like, this is the green watch I needed. So I
Hmm.
might just have to do the same thing with gray, 50 shades of gray, so to speak. The different what is the best gray watch out there? I'm
Hmm.
not sure. There's different Longas. There's different brands out there that produce great dial watches. I'm not sure at this point, but that's
Wow.
the thrill of it too. But unfortunately, that the Longo couldn't stay longer.
Big
Epic.
news.
Yeah,
Wow.
big news and legibility. It's one of the things that as a watch collector is not necessarily always at the top of the list, but
Yeah.
when you can't read a watch, then
Yes.
it's like, what's the point?
That's exactly you hit the
Yeah.
nail on the head. That's the wow. I can't. That's the thing. What's the purpose of watch if not to tell the time?
Yeah.
Um,
Wow.
oh,
Well, I mean, like that was a strong, and it must have been, you must have agonized over that, and I feel for you, man. I mean, but you did I think it sounds like you did the right thing. So
yeah, I feel I don't feel bad like that regret. Like sometimes when you know that you made a mistake, that when you suddenly I don't feel that, and I just got rid of it today,
yeah.
so I don't even feel any remorse.
Okay. Okay.
So I feel
Good
like
sign.
that's a good sign.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. Well, I got my Jaeger and Benzinger, my evening watch, and I
Oh
also have
man,
with me
nice.
my Kadoke too. And there's a reason
Ooh,
why I have these here, and we'll get to that shortly. I'm not selling them. Don't worry, guys. I'm not selling
Not
them. So they're,
Schwarzkopfing. Are you
no,
Schwarzkopfing?
I was before. I assume when I came back from the supermarket, I took the G Shock off and I put the two watches on. So yeah, I did do that. But how about we say hello to the chat and see what's going on, and then we'll move on. Hey, Bill. Bill coming in early there. Megan's here. How you doing? Mountain Standard Time. We're in the vintage Pierce Chrono tonight. Very, very nice.
Cool.
Um, Paul's here. What's up, Justin? How you doing, sir? Blue Shirt Buddha joining us. Nilo 5280. Hello, Rebels. Yeah, here we are. Mr. Cassioc is here. StreamYard did that funny thing again,
Mm.
and it skipped me to 9 o'clock. So I'm gonna miss some of you guys here. Sorry. Greetings from by Caliber. How you doing? Wilson's here. A Longa and soon. Well, we'll create our own Tuesday night stream with Black. Okay. Well, I should have probably read that a little bit more before. Hey, hey, Random Rom. How you doing? Got
Hey
your
Rob.
mug here.
Good to see you, Rob.
Kevin S is here. Oh man, I'm just like I always say it. I'm just like Ron Burgundy.
Ron Burgundy.
I just read the teleprompter, man.
I'm Ron Burgundy.
Yeah.
Scotchy, 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 Scotchy.
Yes. Young Excellency, what's up from Atlantic, Canada? Very nice. Mr. Hill, he's here. Uh, Dave DeSandro, what's going on? Thank you for joining us. All her movements, Penny, what's up?
Hey
How you
Penny.
doing? Sanjay's here. Hey Joe, what's going on? Let us
Sanjay.
know. Let us know what you guys are wearing on wrist, for sure. Clayton is everywhere. He is. So is Chaz. So is Chaz. Ice Chicken Monster. Is that what they call? Is that what they call
New
penguins?
name.
Ice chickens? Okay. Jeffrey's here. What's up, Jeff? Roar of the Tiger. What's going on, sir? Thank you for joining us. Pale Horse is here. Hey, Ken Spear. What's going on? James Duffy. What's up, sir? Bobby has been flirting with danger, says Justin. Yeah, yeah, he has been. My condolences, Bobby. Oh, here we go. Now, go put yourself in the corner, Calibers. I think.
For me,
Saying it to Bobby.
probably.
Yeah. Long and less. That's a tough one. Sure is. But the right call was made. I have my faith in Bobby's decision. Paul in shock. I had a feeling that Bobby wasn't loving the manga. I don't know.
No,
I mean, you still love to watch, right? You just
I
couldn't
love
read
to
it.
watch. Yeah, exactly. If this was a different color, I think it would have stayed. Or like the legibility, like you said, if it was some contrast of the dial and the hands, that would have been a keeper.
Yeah. Hello, Junior Johnson. Zeitwork is next. I think that's pretty readable, right?
Yeah. Actually, funny enough, I saw a Zeitwork today. Somebody wearing a Zeitwork, which is amazing.
Wow. Oh, you saw one in the wild.
In the wild, yeah.
Holy
Wow.
cow.
And I could read the time on that one
Wow.
from his hand. So
Sure.
yeah, legibility is good on that one.
Sure, yeah, I can imagine. Sell them all, Rob says. The Watch Whisperer is here. I don't know the Watch Whisperer. Have I seen you before, Watch Whisperer? Well, welcome. Anish, how you doing? What is going on? Hey, Ra's here. What's up, Rob? Rob is wearing 90. I'm highlighting random Rob a lot because he's got some good stuff today. 94 days, still wearing the
Nice.
sub. Good for him, man. Hey, what's up, Kevin from Wrong
Hey,
Time
Kevin.
Watch is here. How you doing? And Joshua is here. How you doing, Josh? There's Deb. What's going on? Deb, thanks for joining us. And thanks everybody for joining us tonight with the different scheduling change. Really appreciate that. So I think what we're going to start off with is earlier today, I reached out to some of my friends and I asked them, what is your favorite case back, display back in your collection, or send me a couple. I'd like to send a couple pictures to me, and maybe we can, show them off a little bit and talk about it. And so I got a really good response. I got a big response, and some of them, I was able to get some of them in, not all of them, but I tried it. I did my best to do that. So let's start off, and I'll share my screen. Let me get that going. It'll just take a minute. Not a minute, but window. Okay. So our first one here is certainly a stunner where we're getting it off. We're starting off really hot here with the submission by my friend Alex. And this is a Omega Speedmaster, the Ed White.
Yeah, man. 321.
Yep. Beautiful watch. Bobby, do you have one of these?
Yes, I do. And I was like, "Is that my picture?" but it's a beautiful watch. Column wheel, like you said, and you can see instead of the only difference between the current caliber 321 and the vintage models from the 1960s is it used to be all coppery. It's all that reddish color was copper, but now it's actually gold, rose gold like mixture. So, but everything else is identical from their previous. They did a great job in producing these. I think they make it like 1,000 to 2,000 movements a year. A lot of them is in the stainless steel version, and some of them are in the platinum version.
So you're talking about the 321
caliber 321 movements. Yeah, limited production, I would say, would be the best way of saying it.
So are they all on the Ed Whites, or do they come in?
Well, the initial one was the platinum version, right? In 2019, I think, or 2020, they released the caliber 321 in the meteorite, like a Speedmaster with the meteorite subdials, and that was retailing for like 50,000, and everybody was waiting for when is the stainless steel version coming out, and then lo and behold, the Ed White came out the next year, and a majority, I think, right now, Omega probably better business models probably to release them in the stainless steel model because else they're selling like hotcakes.
Yeah.
There's a waiting list for that. So, and it's a beautiful dimension, 39.7 millimeters, I believe.
Yeah. Awesome. And Caliber, you're right. This was Alex did a great shot. This is from his Instagram. Beautiful, beautiful shot for sure.
Gorgeous.
Clayton, Chaz, have any of you guys ever had a Speedmaster in your collection?
I have
I have
not
not.
owned
Yeah.
a Speedmaster. I have the Gray Side of the Moon is one I've always wanted.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
I hope to add that at some point. But 321, the Ed White has not been on my radar. That's I think you basically have to have some kind of connection to a boutique or maybe some previous history there.
Yeah.
So it's not really something for me, but it's a beautiful watch. Gorgeous.
It is. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I like the Speedmaster. I don't know. I've never had the itch though to buy one, but seeing this picture, I mean, like, I could be sold really easily on this watch. I mean,
Oh man.
if I could ever get it, you know what I mean? Like, especially looking at that movement, and I think Michael brings up a good point. It's nice not having a huge rotor blocking the view
Yeah.
on that one. I mean, I love mechanical chronographs. I mean, they're awesome. I mean, look, I love automatic chronographs too, but the mechanical ones without the manual wind,
Yeah.
they're just something to look at. Even like an affordable Seagull, right? That movement is actually kind of like pretty to look at too, right? Yeah, great stuff here, Alex. Thank you so much. Let's move on, and this is another one from Alex, and this is the Grand Seiko, the High Beat GMT with the 9S86 movement. Also very, very good looking case back. Love the striping here, the Geneva stripes here, and pretty good looking watch, I would say.
I just, as an owner of the Grand Seiko as well, I don't understand why they stamp these case backs.
Yeah.
Why
That's great.
why lose
Yeah.
like you said, it's a beautiful movement, and you just
At least there's no big lion there on this
Right.
one. So slight improvement, but I'm like you. I wish they would leave if they're going to show the case back, don't logo it.
Yeah.
They did not logo it on my Soko, and I was pleasantly surprised. Yep.
Good.
Could see the spring drive. Yep.
Nice. How is that logo? Is that like something like you could? I mean, not that you would, but could that rub off or scratch off, or is it like a laser etched kind of like what's? I've never seen one in person.
I've thought about it, but my Grand Seiko has the line too.
Yeah,
So
gotcha.
it has the whole thing, so I can't
Yeah.
even see half the movement. So, and it's a spring drive, so I would love to have seen it, but I actually thought about that, Bobby, etching it
Yeah.
out, but then I was like, you know what, I'm just going to keep it as is for now.
Yeah, it'll probably affect some sort of value of it.
You might want to let
resale.
somebody else try that. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Jason, how you doing? Thanks for joining us. Craig's saying my Speedy automatic is sweet, even with a rotor. My dial is awesome. Yeah, I mean, I'm not to take anything away from automatic chronographs. I've had my share of them. They're great looking too. I just also like to see the whole movement without a rotor in the way. So that's why I
Yeah.
can appreciate that white for sure. Moving on, and our friend Colin, this is his overseas, the Vacheron, and look. Speaking of rotor, I mean, look at that thing.
What
I
a
mean,
rotor.
that is
Amazing.
just beautiful. Beautiful looking watch. Case front. I mean, dial side up and then case back. Just really, really beautiful. I know he really likes this watch a lot too. And Bobby, do you have one of these, or did you have one of these?
Yeah, yes, I do.
Yeah.
It feels like I have this. I mean, this is basically the same movement. His is a different color dial.
Yeah.
The 4500V, I believe, it's the first time I believe Vacheron is using an in-house movement on their overseas, the third gen. I think the previous two models were not. But what a way to start their new generation of overseas with their new in-house movement with a beautiful, I think it's 22 karat gold rotor and
22 karat. That's interesting.
Yeah. If I remember correctly, they can correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But
No, I'll take your word for it. I mean, that's just
Côte de Genève
yeah.
movements,
Yeah.
beautiful.
I'm a
Awesome.
huge fan of two-tone rotor. going with the gold rotor and stainless
Sure.
steel. I think it looks really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Even if it's not real gold, right? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's gold plated, gold dip. Who cares? I mean, if it's gold
Yeah.
plated, really, who cares? Because it's not going to be exposed to too many elements, right? So it's not going to wear off per se, right?
Yep.
So yeah, no, I'm into that too. I think it's a nice
This
little
is one of the
touch.
few times, right, Bobby, that half the case back is okay to be covered
Yeah,
with 22
absolutely.
with that
Yeah.
beautiful design.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that for sure. Okay, so let's move on, and that's a close up that Colin added in there.
Nice, nice.
Very, very nice. Okay. Uh, here, Caliber, he sent in a couple watches. He sent in a couple watches. Sorry, Caliber, I didn't see these until very late, until just before I came on. So I was able to throw in one of them. And this is your Club Campus, this Nomos. I think this is the Alpha movement, is if I'm correct, the manual movement. I think it's Alpha. And just love a simple manual wind 3-hand movement, right? And just nicely done. This probably out of, I mean, look, there's some Nomos that very Bauhaus in design, and that doesn't really do it for me. I like the Campus because it's not like that to me.
Hmm.
And so, like, if I was gonna pick up a Nomos, this is probably one of the first. This probably would be one of the only ones I would get. I'm not besmirching the brand. The brand is great. Just mostly not my style, but I like the Campus, and I would get it with this movement, not the automatic, and I would get it with a case back because I like taking a look at this movement. So um, yeah, anybody Nomos? Anybody have any
I feel the
Nomos?
same way like you do. I
Yeah,
don't think it's quite my style. The Bauhaus really isn't my thing, but yeah, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I can appreciate them without wanting to own one for sure.
yeah.
That's a very beautiful moment.
Okay, so moving on. And speaking of Chaz,
Yes.
his new addition to his collection is
Yes.
Omega Planet Ocean. Very, very cool watch. Chaz, do you gaze at this case back lovingly?
Well, it's not bad for a dive watch. It's not.
Yeah,
I, I
absolutely.
Yeah.
I appreciate
You're
that
right.
Omega puts the display case back on their on a 600-meter dive watch. You don't see that a lot on dive watches, and I appreciate the fact that they I mean it's not a level of finishing like the VC or even some Grand Seiko, but it's still really finished well for a dive watch, and
Yeah,
it's fun. It's fun to watch. Fun to every now and then look it over and see the wheels turning and see the rotor, and so yeah, I'm glad it's there. It's a beautiful movement. Like,
absolutely.
no,
I,
Go
I
ahead,
think
Bobby.
this
I'm
is
sorry.
no. I think this is where Omega separates from Rolex in one
Hmm.
sense. For this, comparable amount of half the price of a Submariner, you get a beautiful case back and this beautiful like design that makes like people who want to buy their first watch or second watch. I think this is where Omega is trying to craft its own, build its brand. Um, and this is just a beautiful movement. I mean, you can't say anything. uh, this is comparable to JLC, I would
Hmm.
say. Just a beautiful sports watch in
Yeah,
general. Planet Ocean, definitely the movement is uh, a great watch.
I think
Jazz.
I think I think it's like my favorite model line in Omega's lineup, the Planet Ocean. I'm really digging them. I've always have, and now especially after Chaz got his. Um, just a beautiful watch. Kevin is saying he should have sent pictures of his 7S26. Time Hell, love the Nomos movement, really nice. Zhao saying I like Nomos, especially the Orion and Tangenti for the money. The Orion, you know what? Let me take that back. I mean, I like the Orion too. I mean, I know that's very Bauhausy looking, not as Bauhaus as some of the other lines, but I do like the Orion. It's very crisp and clean. Um, yeah, Marcus's favorite. I like the World Timer. I think we're going back to the Nomos. The World Timer is nice. Yeah, I think I'm starting to talk myself into getting a Nomos now as we're going through this. Engineer Wannabe, I am a sucker for Omega's arabesque striping. Standard Omega movements are amazing. Absolutely, totally agree.
That was one of the favorite parts of my just owning the White Dial Seamaster for a while, just turning that over. And you just don't expect to see it. And then
Right.
every time it's sort of like, whoa, and you stare at it for a while. Yeah, it's really impressive for the price on a dive watch.
Absolutely.
And Chaz, just how big is your Planet Ocean?
It's a 43.5 diameter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I just, the only thing that for me was the thickness of the watch. If the Planet Ocean becomes a little thinner, that should be by far the best dive watch in the industry. If it just became a little thinner, that in my
You're
opinion.
right. It is a thick watch. We were talking about that right before you arrived. It's substantial. It's one of those watches you notice. It's got a heft to it, but I like that part about it. But it is thick.
What size wrist do you have, Chaz?
Almost 8 inches.
Okay,
So,
you can pull it
it's
off.
nuts. Yeah.
So another watch from Chaz. Chaz, this is your spring drive?
Yes.
Your snowflake?
Yeah, the 211.
Very, very nice.
Yeah,
Didn't know you had a snowflake.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful watch too.
Yeah, it's the spring drive is another. I just love the movement. I knew I always wanted a spring drive at some point in time. I hope to. So this, I think the snowflake represents a good entry level to Grand Seiko. If you want to try spring drive, it's a good entry level. Titanium. I love titanium watches. It's a little bit bigger than some of the others. The 211 is 41 diameter. So, and some of their Grand Seikos are really small. So if you got a big wrist, there's a little fewer options. But yeah, and I love the movement. It's very different. You don't have the same the same action that you have in a mechanical or an automatic movement, but it is it's still beautiful in its own way.
Winding it doesn't feel great, does it?
No, first time you think, oh, I've broken something.
Yeah,
It feels
does
like
not
sandpaper.
feel. It does not feel all
Interesting.
that great.
Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't know that. But I like Chaz. I think I'm very curious about the spring drive and even the manual spring drive is actually I think really kind of really cool too.
Sanjay's about convinced me I want the manual wind spring drive.
Yeah. Absolutely. Paul saying rub it in Chaz, 43.5 millimeter orange bezel. I'm drinking milk.
That's okay, Paul.
Chaz
I'm jealous of his small wrist. That's it.
Chaz has the wrists. Caliber. Whoa, I'm not arm wrestling Chaz. Oh man, that's great. Okay, so let's move on. Great, good stuff, Chaz. Really appreciate it. Now, Clayton.
Wow.
Not Clayton from the Watchdog podcast, but Clayton here. This is his Longa. This is up down, right? I don't know what the proper model name is. Is it the up down or
Up down 1815 chronograph, I believe.
Yeah, is it a chronograph or does he have power reserve on it? Anyway, I'm sure if Clayton's here, he'll straighten it out for us. But I mean, another Longa watch, very very beautiful movement here, manual wind.
This is giving me some regret now.
Oh yeah.
So we'll try to rush through this over
it's still
here.
Beautiful. That's still beautiful.
Very beautifully done. Excellent.
Man, gorgeous.
Well executed. Just beautiful done. I mean, look at the engraving here, and it's just unbelievable. Kind of like a drop the mic kind of case back here.
Oh man.
Anyway, good stuff, Clayton. Clayton also has an Apollo 8 Dark Side of the Moon.
Ah, the Dark Side of the Moon.
Nice.
Yeah.
I almost bought one of those. It's so beautiful. Just a little big on me, but oh God, what a watch.
Yeah.
I love
awesome.
the way they finished that movement to match the case. That's just perfect.
Can you zoom in?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I think like how they like the 1869 movement, the it looks like it's lunar surface
Moon
Oh
type.
yeah,
rock.
yeah, very
Yeah.
much so.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, it's such a cool watch.
Mm, damn.
Felt so lucky to hold one and try it on.
Yikes. Okay, I may be talking myself into getting a Speedmaster. Oh boy, this is not going the way I thought it was going to go.
A Nomus and a Speedmaster.
No
You're
more saying, man. Oh boy. And here his Reverso
Wow.
that he purchased recently.
Look at that.
Just beautiful, beautiful case back. Awesome. Yeah, Clean's got a very, very exquisite collection for
Yeah.
sure. Just beautiful. Let me catch up with the chat and see what's going on here. People pay good money for laser ablation nowadays. I don't know if that's watch related or yes.
I think like the Omega's
Okay,
the
okay.
Speedmaster movement.
Gotcha.
Yeah, nothing cosmetic.
Okay. I didn't know if I was jumping in Justin's conversation with somebody else. Yes, laser ablated Omega. Thank you, Jason, for clearing that up. Nice 1869 movement. Love the darker alloys. Yeah, it is insane. That reversal is insane for sure.
Crazy. Beautiful.
Yep.
I love that brands go to the lengths of decorating movements like this. Isn't that awesome? Isn't that great? I mean,
Yep.
it's not just the dial side, right? But it's the case back side. It's the movement side, and very much appreciated for sure. And it's not like a very few brands do this. A lot of brands do this, and I love it. I love my favorite watch is a manual wind watch with a display case back with even a slightly decorated movement. It doesn't have to be like crazy decorated. But I appreciate that kind of artistic display. Dib here, he's got a Seiko 5. So Dib throwing in a Seiko 5 here.
Nice.
Thanks, Dib. And he comes in with his Zenith El Primero though here.
Look at
And
that rotor.
Yep.
Yeah.
I had one of these. Beautiful, beautiful watch. Excellent movement display.
Zenith movements are just cool. I mean, I love the way they do their skeletonized rotors, and
Yeah.
it's just really you can spot a Zenith movement from a long way. I like their style there.
Absolutely. And we have a couple more Zeniths coming up,
Nice.
Chaz. So we'll have more to look at here. Let's see here. Okay, let's move it on. And Mr. Hill with his datograph here. Yeah.
Wow.
All right. This is also another mic drop.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Look at this thing. I mean,
End the stream now.
yeah.
Good
That's all, folks.
night.
Like, where do you even start looking at this? You know what I mean? Like, where do you even start?
Feels like a city.
Yeah. It's like I don't know to zoom in or to zoom out. I don't know what to do here, but yeah. I mean,
Oh my goodness.
one of the great watches, right? One of
Best
the great
chronograph.
watches of all time, right?
The best
here.
chronograph.
Yeah.
In watch world.
Yeah. Just amazing, Mr. Hill. Thank you so much for sending this picture. And probably the closest I'll get to seeing one, right?
Wow.
Look at the detail on that finishing. It's every screw just perfectly machined.
Yeah.
The time that went into this, the engraving,
Perlage here.
yes.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
The balance cock looks beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you can even see it from you don't even have to magnify it.
Right.
The blue
Yeah,
screws. Right. I mean, it's just perfect.
Yeah, you zoom out, you could still see it all.
Yeah.
Yep. Breathtaking. Very much so. There's a civilization living in that case. There he is. Yep. Awesome. Thank you.
And Rob, that's where so much of the cost goes into some of these watches. You look at the amount of work that has went into just the finishing on that movement.
Yeah.
And you know, if ever a price is justified, it's if you look at that movement, you know that the amount of work and artistry that there's only a handful of people who can probably do that.
I know.
And
Yeah.
I know. It's tough to explain this to someone who is not into watches,
right,
though. You know what I mean? Like, try explaining it to to my wife, or and not to say that she's not capable of understanding. She totally is, but I'm sure there's probably things about, like, physics that she loves, and has explained to me, string theory, and I'm like, just like, what, so
I would say this is the gold standard
yeah.
by which other watch movements are compared to. I mean, this is
right.
like Tom Brady or whatever, whoever the greatest of all time is.
Or
Right.
Peyton Manning, if we're gonna go
Yeah, exactly,
back.
exactly. For chronograph movements, I think this is the best chronograph movement by which others are striving towards, I guess.
Yeah.
The best way to start the sentence and then keep going if you're still interested.
Yeah.
All right.
I was
Let's lift up. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was explaining it to my in-laws because they're really into art, and they were asking me what draws me to watches, and this was part of what I was saying and showing them pictures and showing them a couple of my case backs. This is the art I'm into.
Yeah.
Yeah, wearable
True.
art. Yep.
But you're right, Rob. I think this a person that's not really into watches that they don't really, and I didn't before I got into watches. I didn't understand that. So, but this helps you appreciate it. It really does.
I mean, we can zoom into any part of this movement and talk for like 5-10 minutes. Like, that's how detailed this
Yeah.
thing is.
Right.
This is the Lionel Messi. Okay. Because
I have Jim Zorn watches is the comment of the night.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would make a movie reference on it, Sanjay, but it may not land. Okay, so let's get our jaws off the ground and let's go to the next one. And this is from Joe. This is his North flag. And Joe told me that, and rightfully so, this is probably the only display case back that Tudor should have, right?
Yeah.
Forget about the BB58s. This is the one, and I think it's a discontinued watch, and I can only see the popularity of this watch getting even bigger and bigger now that it's discontinued, because it is very
Cool
different.
watch.
Yeah, very different from what you see in their lineup today. Maybe they'll bring it back, but very nicely done. Thanks, Joey, for sending that in. Here's another one. Joey's Moser Pioneer.
Oh man.
Beautiful movement. And Joey, speaking of collections, I mean, Joey's got a really, really great collection, really fun collection. All from the affordable to the high luxury range. He has a really great taste, and I really like what he has. Let's see here.
Mosier does such good finishing. I think at that kind of mid major, they do really beautiful on both sides of the dial. The dial side and the movement.
That's the same movement that is in the Green Dragon, the one I have.
Yeah,
the same exact movement that he has on his Pioneer. So it's like a very shock resistant type of movement. Very well finished, I would say.
Yeah.
Go to Geneva, of course, but
yes.
Very, very nice. Okay, moving forward. We got a lot more watches to go, so I'm going to speed it up a little bit. And speaking of another Zenith, this is Joey's
cool.
Defy, and love the rotor here, right? Very, very cool. Very cool watch, dial side as well. Titanium, very, very nice looking watch.
Really
I believe
nice.
he's got the blue dial one. Yeah, great looking watch.
Nice movement. This is Zenith at its best.
That movement matches the case too. I mean, I love how they kind of matched, kind of like the dark side of the moon. The finishing on that matches the kind of the flat titanium. I like that.
Oh yeah. Okay, moving along. And Paul sent his Tag Carrera. Love the Carrera.
Beautiful.
I love their tags, chronos. I love the Monaco. Love the Carrera. Some great watches. I know they get a bad rap, undeservingly so most of the time, I feel. But super fun watch for sure. Thanks
Neat
for sending
rotor.
this. Yeah,
Neat rotor.
very very
Yeah.
cool. Um, oops, sorry. Let's see here. Let's give some tag. Chaz, you said it. There you go. Okay, moving forward. Sanjay submitted his
Wow.
Grand Seiko SBGV 238. Look, I mean,
Love
I'll
it.
tell you what. This I think this is awesome. I
Yeah.
think this is phenomenal.
I mean, that's
Uh,
great.
yeah,
It's a great picture too. Like
great
Yeah.
It
picture.
is.
You can
It's
still
great.
have
It's
a
a
beautiful case back with a quartz watch.
Again, that
right.
two-tone vibe on the case back gets me every time. I love
Yep.
it.
Yep.
There's varying degrees. This shows the varying degrees of having a quartz movement. Like this is the best of the best, I think,
Yeah.
Mhm.
of how you can do it. Make it so beautiful. Such a nice finishing.
And that's not just a quartz movement. I mean, that movement is. I mean, it is
The
like
Manef, yep.
yeah, like Bobby said. That is just an amazing movement. Even people kind of look down on quartz, but if you read the engineering specs and the places they went with this, it's an amazing movement.
Mine has not deviated since Christmas Day. It's crazy.
That's unbelievable.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Wow.
I checked it today. I check it weekly just to see. Can I catch you losing a second or something? Nope, dead on. It's amazing.
It is
There's something really um just awesome about that, right? I mean,
right.
I I I have the expectation that my watches are going to lose time. Okay, that's fine. And I always have like my phone or my G-Shock, which loses some time as well, right? Uh, but to have a quartz watch, who cares if it's quartz, but a quartz watch with that kind of accuracy since Christmas Day, um, is amazing.
Yeah.
Is amazing.
Yeah.
You know. Um,
Does Mixel remind anyone else of cassette tapes, mixtapes? That's the first thing I think of.
yeah.
Yeah.
It totally does. I think about the guy sitting in the chair with
Yes,
the yeah
the wind
the
blowing it
one
from the
alone. Yeah,
speakers. Yeah.
yeah. Battery should line up on the text of the battery. Yeah. I probably this is the watch that should have followed the Longa or Rolex closely.
It's hard to
Okay.
follow that Longo.
It's hard. It is hard to follow that Longa for sure. Okay, moving forward. Steve sent in his Grand Seiko in here. Um, Again, very, very nice movement. Grand Seiko, man, I got to go to a boutique or an AD and just check them out in person. I've only seen a few in person, but I just really need to get into an AD or boutique in general because I need to go try on some watches. I feel like I've missed out on that for the last year and a half or so. But beautiful, beautiful Grand Seiko, Steve. Thanks for submitting this in. And he also has a Omega Seamaster 300. Again,
Ah,
awesome display back, great finishing on this dial. Um, I agree with Bobby. I mean, probably the best dive watches out there for sure. You know,
You can get them brand new. Well, the S&P 300. I mean, you can get 'em brand new for a discount for like $4,400, and to get that on a dive watch, on a
yeah,
serious dive watch, it's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah, yeah. It,
yeah.
it almost like you almost like think to yourself like, why you need to have one in your collection. You need to have an Omega diver in your collection, whichever it is, right? Planet Ocean, Seamaster 300, Seamaster Professional. It's almost like a rite of passage, right? Um, but there's a lot of Omegas that you could say that about too, like the Speedmaster and
Yeah.
and whatnot. Okay, moving along. And Wolfie Now this is
Wow.
his
Very cool.
Moser Heritage Bucherer edition, right? So I guess that explains away the blue rotor here. But awesome, awesome watch in
Wow.
general. I mean, the Heritage is great, and Ra, I think he's on the stream. That's one of the watches that is in his sights, and he's almost got me convinced that that'd be a nice turning 50 watch. Um, but beautiful, beautiful watch.
Yeah.
Beautiful shade of blue.
Beautiful shade of blue.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Gorgeous.
the dial side, I think the Bucher is it gray? Is it a gray dial? The Heritage, the normal Moser Heritage is blue, but I think this has a gray dial on it. I could be wrong. Um, very cool. Love the Moser Blucher. Love the blue rotor and
Yeah.
balance.
Looks so
Yeah,
good.
yeah. Very, very nice. Okay.
Wolfie's got such nice watches.
He does, doesn't he? Oh man, I wish he was live with us.
But he'll probably tune in when he gets he's
Yeah,
on he's on a little bit ahead, but
yeah.
great watches.
And I think that's it. Oh yeah, that is it. So
I
I
didn't
will.
send a picture, but I have my Weiss here.
Yeah, let's see it.
That's a good
I
one.
took it off
I'll
the
give you solo
NATO.
view. I'll give you solo view.
It's hard with the reflections, but the aluminum
Oh
plates,
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
you can watch it in action here. Yeah, it's a beautiful. Mostly a dive watch guy, so not a whole lot of beautiful case backs in my collection. But yeah, I love the Weiss and yellow there really makes it pop, and yeah, it's just beautiful case back.
Very
Ye-
nice.
I like how Weiss completely uses the full case back to
Yes.
show its
Yep.
movements.
Yep.
It's one of the beautiful things about Weiss.
Yep. Let me throw my guys up here. And this is my case back for the Jaeger and Benzinger.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah, just a
Yeah.
fun little watch. The movement is nothing spectacular per se. It's just an off-the-shelf Swiss movement. I forget the name of the brand. They're not around anymore, but they used to make a lot of manufactured movements that and kind of disappeared when the quartz crisis. So this is like new old stock, but very, very well done. And then here's my Kadoke.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Can't unsee what I already see. But and I think you guys know what I'm talking about. But
Yeah.
No, now you made me unsee.
Yeah.
I wasn't looking at it, but now okay. But so beautiful that
yeah.
they
I'm thinking about whenever I send this in for a service to see. I've seen people have the main plate here engraved,
nice.
and I'm thinking about seeing if they're willing to do it and how much that would be, because I think that's what I would like to do too.
So this is a keeper.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
okay, that's good. That's good that you've. How long have you had it for now?
I'd say like 3 or 4 months. I,
Wow,
I really I
nice.
really got to take it out of the house. Typically, I've been wearing this at night at home or the J&B, but I went to a wedding this past weekend, and I I I totally ransacked my closet to find a suit that matched this, instead of like finding the watch to match the suit.
Yeah.
So yeah, and it was so much fun. Like I was staring at my watch the whole time. Like I had the suit on and just like pushing my sleeve back, and I would have worn a pink or a salmon shirt, but my wife was like, no, that's she just doesn't like me wearing salmon or pink shirt. I don't know why, but I like them, and that would have been totally totally awesome. But anyway,
That'd
I
be
wore a
pretty
blue shirt,
sweet.
whatever. The wife is the boss. So
I'm glad that you found a keeper and in such a short time. Like some
mhm.
people have to, like some watches when you wear it, you're like, this is for sure not leaving
Yeah,
anywhere.
yeah, I feel the same way about this. The reason why I could tell you right now that these are keeper, even if I just like kind of fall out of love with them, I can never find something with this kind of guilloche and engraving for the price that I bought it for. And this, the tangible thing about this that I like is that when a Petit Aiguille award, Petit Aiguille GPHD award, and I kind of like that. I kind of like the fact that I own a watch that has won an award for whatever that's worth. I mean, that's probably not worth anything to anybody, but for me, there's some currency to that. You know what I mean?
Right.
That I want to hold on to, and not that we see these things as investments or we should be, but I mean, I think this could only go up eventually. I mean, he doesn't make much of these, so I'm happy to have it. You know,
Yeah.
I've been digging that watch for a really long time. FYI, it's not a keeper.
Wet
Oh man.
blanket right there.
Oh man, that's funny. Okay, a lot of jokes about the movement on that we won't highlight. Vegan wins are so good. Thanks, Caliber. I appreciate it. Justin, I wish more companies played with colored bridges in their movements. Yeah, that is a good. Oh, wait a second here. Wow, group one. I mean, for this group, I mean, you have one, Chaz, right?
I've got one.
Yeah.
You had one, Bobby, right?
I did have one. I actually went to
You went to Joey.
Joy. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was all owned by Alton Brown, the
Yeah.
guy from Food Network. Yeah.
So with this configuration, that's as close as a group watch anybody's gotten. You know,
Yeah.
We were
straight.
almost there.
We almost-
So Bobby, it's Nomos, Speedmaster, and Weiss now.
Yeah, for tonight, and then tomorrow it's going to be a completely different three.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I know this is going to be a boring topic, but I just love talking about this. What's next? I mean, we got a little bit. Bobby wasn't really too. He's going to wait until the end of the year. Sounds like. He's going to sit on it, you know, for a little bit and think about it. I was hoping that the sale of the Longa would speed up the end of his watch fast, so I'd have more days than him. But it might take me a while to overcome that. So, but I mean, but is there anything in the radar though? I mean, can you give us something to
So
think about?
I'm looking like, you know, Bobby, like the best gray dial watches. So I mean, there's certain considerations. I'm not saying I'm not considering it. The Chapek Antarctic gray dial is
Oh, man.
definitely great. Of course, it's all sold out, 99 pieces. That's the problem about independent brands. They only limited quantity. So the secondhand market, there's not that many. The AP Royal Oak, of course, gray dial is a great option as well.
Yeah.
The Odysseus gray dial, white gold. That's a Longa. So that would have might quench the thirst a little bit. And then there's other Longa ones out there which have a darker gray dial.
Yeah.
But again, it's so many different, you know, great gray dial watches out there that they can't pick in, you know, there's so many. I don't know if anybody else has any other options that I can think about for a gray dial watch, but these are the 4 ones I'm thinking of as at least initial things to look through.
So I mean, like, you know, I'll throw in an idea, and I don't know if it's something you would consider. It's not for everybody, this watch, because the styling, but I do like the 70s by Glashütte. That's how Wolfgang told me. It's like a Hoot Glashütte original. I like that watch in that gray. I mean, I like it in a blue, but I think it's an anthracite gray that they have, especially the Corona looks so good. I know it's a little thick. 3-hander might not, with a big date may not be as thick. I don't know.
Definitely have to think, especially since I've lost a German brand as well.
Yeah.
That kind of, like you said, you know, it's not that I need a German brand watch, but it just feels like once I lost one, I need something too. But that's a great submission as well.
Yeah. Clayton, what about you?
You know, I just got the SLA 043, which I'm digging right now, and there's really nothing I'm thinking about right now. Just trying to enjoy what I have, and having no money in the watch budget really helps that. So. That'll happen. So.
Yeah. Chaz, dare I
Well,
ask?
yeah, I've got the limited edition 103 Classic 12 from Zen that
That's right. Yeah.
I deposited on it, and should be in end of October,
Nice.
November sometime, and as far as the only new watch that I'm aiming for is getting my wife a nice watch for her birthday, coming up in November.
Yeah,
I mean October next month.
you get that right.
I hope to God she doesn't. Don't ask me the date. No, I know the date. But that's been the journey I'm on, because she's not really into mechanical watches. She wants
Mm,
something, grab and wear. So I'm
hmm
trying to find that good, and I'm probably going to go with the Grand Seiko Lady Snowflake. It's a
Ooh,
quartz
yeah,
model. So
It looks
yeah, yeah.
awesome.
Nice.
yeah, yeah.
Yep.
So I think
You
that's
can wear
that's
your
my next one.
snowflake. You can
We
wear
could
your
have
snow.
snowflakes. Yes,
Yeah, nice,
couples
nice,
watch.
nice.
So um,
Uh,
so
I asked
hopefully,
my wife if she wanted one of those, and because I know she prefers more masculine watches, so
right.
I asked, and she said no,
Yeah,
which kind of disappointed me because I like it.
yeah,
yeah.
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 It
The
is
one I
small.
actually my wife liked the Chanel J12.
Ah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
I don't know what I'm thinking about that one
yeah.
for her.
I just recently picked up the A56, the Zin for my wife. She really likes it. The DL C coded um uh the PVD coded, sorry, a watch. And it's funny, she asked me to wind it for her, set the time for her. She's like she
Yeah.
doesn't want to have anything to do with that. She's like, you're just gonna you'll
Right.
set the time, you know what I mean? So I may have to put that on a winder for her.
Well,
But
I'm glad Mrs. Legs got her birthday watch, and now maybe you can borrow your camo
yeah,
G-Shock
my
bag
convention
now.
Yeah.
shop back. The problem is that I have to add a link to it,
Oh
right?
yeah,
So yeah, so it's just like, oh,
yeah.
it's just even at the furthest micro adjust, it's still tight on me. And the same thing with the 856. So if I had to borrow any of those two, I'd have to add a link, and that's just, both of them are not um like a simple screw in
Right,
and out,
right.
um
S-
especially with the sin. It's scary for me.
But Bobby, what's the big? And we all told our things. So for
Yeah,
you,
Oh, yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
Rolex
Yeah.
or not to Rolex, that is the question.
So I mean, I know people, Megan, Kevin, were asking. So look, I mean, the way I'm treating it is that, um, I mean, I'm powerless, right? So I have no control over the situation. So if I get that call, yes, I'll do it. In the meantime, I've been thinking of a couple watches. Every day changes, but Adorn Bluth has always been in the back of my mind for a really, really long time. So I think, there's a reason for that, right? So uh, I'm thinking of the Adorn Bluth, the 99.2, which has a small second at the 9 o'clock and a power reserve on the 3, and it's a 40 millimeter. Anyway, I'd have to put a deposit down, and according to Watch Buys, it's a 11 and 12-month wait. So I'm gonna wait till about a month or two. That we have something going on that is going to resolve itself in about a month or two, and then after that, I probably will put a deposit down on that. Been thinking a lot lately about hovering. That's something that's always been on my mind too, but lately, I've thought about it a lot as well. And Yeah, I mean, I'm drinking the Kool-Aid with Garrick, but I think I'm gonna just keep my eye on Dornbluth and Habring. Keep the Austrian German, motif or genre in the collection, and then like every once in a while, maybe just splurge or get a little quick fix with a sumo.
How many days? How many days have you been fasting for now?
It's 57, I believe. Yeah, the
So
Wow.
10th
nearly
will be
2 months.
60. Yeah,
Nice,
Wow. Wow.
nice.
Wow.
man, it's been tough though. It's been
Mhm.
tough. Like you, this, so this is gonna sound like really, really bad, but like this weekend we were away, and the kids, we were in a hotel and they were out of their schedule. And if you guys know, like if you have like your toddlers, if they go off their schedule, it could be bad news. So we weren't getting to bed till like 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, and they were just crazy and not getting any sleep. And And after a couple of days, man, I was like mentally exhausted and I wanted to act out. I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna put a deposit on that Dorn Bluth. You know what I mean? Like irresponsibly. You know what I mean? And so I came like really, really close this weekend to doing that. You know?
Like you were in a car accident or something.
Yeah, exactly. Like I was in a car accident and went to an AD right afterwards.
Yeah.
But then, would that, I guess, so
What
I
pulled you
wouldn't
back
get,
though? That's the more important thing.
no, just like, 48
you're
years of knowing myself.
okay. So that's
Uh,
good though. Your
yeah,
resolve
yeah,
went through.
Yeah.
Because the
but it
question is,
was,
you were sleep deprived.
yeah,
You're making an emotional decision, and you were like, no. That's the thing that has to be appreciated.
no,
Um,
yeah. Thank
yeah,
you,
just
thank you.
keep it strong. Yeah, because I
But now,
think you're planning very meticulously, more than I've seen you before. Like earlier.
yeah, but
Uh,
also this is very, very fragile because it could change tomorrow.
yep.
That's the thing,
Yeah.
Mhm.
as we all know. But the question is, if I had put a deposit down, would that be technically, and I won't get the watch for another 11 to 12 months, am I breaking the fast?
I wouldn't say
Mm.
that you would, unless you, like you said in the end, you said something about a quick fix, like a sumo.
Yeah.
That's where you're kind of like, okay, you plan for next year, even if you're getting a deposit because it's a waiting list, like. But I
You're
think
asking professional rationalizers here, so
yeah, exactly.
I know the answer to that. I know the answers.
But what would you guys say? Deposit, and he gets it only next year,
No,
2022
be truthful.
July. I say no. I'm just saying. I just feel like he's going to wait till July without wearing a new watch.
I'm going to say that Amon would say you're breaking your fast. So I'm going to say that. But I think if it's a year away, that's not breaking it fast. Just putting a small deposit down because you don't have a watch, and you just kind of
yeah.
you're kind of holding it in place. But I'm saying Amon might call you out on it. So
Probably.
I say the time limit is 6 months. If it's less than 6 months, then you're breaking it. The wait
Yeah.
list.
that's a good. That's a good.
Mills Lane would say, "I'll allow it." Yeah.
Wow, Rob, thank you. That's incredible. Thank you so much for that. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah, I think I have to tell you, I think deep down inside, if it would feel like breaking my fast.
Okay.
It would, even though I should put this down anyway, because what am I going to wait till like November and December or December of this year, put a deposit down to wait till I get the watch November or December of next year? Do you know what I mean? Like it's just but that's okay. That's okay. I'm okay with that. At the end of the day, like this is not a life or death situation. I'm not doing a
Right.
fast for health reasons or some. It's just to see how much I can control myself.
And you guys
Right.
are all in the same boat here, but like, don't you feel like if you put a deposit in for another watch, your threshold for the next purchase goes from here down here? Your next
Absolutely.
purchase is going to be like,
Yeah.
oh, I already broke my, this thing.
Right. You're right.
So that's the resolve that needs to be.
Yeah. Ideal situation. Come November, I'll put a deposit down for the Dorn Bluth, and then hopefully the next day get a call that, okay, your sub is here. That would be like, I mean, that'd be insane. That'd be insane. That'd be a lot of money for me to shell out, like in a 24-hour period. But that's probably how it'll happen. If it happens, that's how it happened. And I'll be fine with that.
I love Bobby's strategy of getting the best dial color he can get. I think that's really a great way to collect, and
Yeah.
Mhm.
I've tried to. I haven't gotten all the dial colors like you, but I've tried to get. There's 2 or 3 different tiny dial colors I want to add just for that reason, and so I like that. I like that idea of making.
The reason why I did it, I think, is it limits me to one watch, King of the Hill, so to speak.
Yeah.
Like if you have to beat me on like the best green dial watch, it kind of negates all the new green dial releases unless it's better than the Green Dragon. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so
Right.
it helps me kind of limit myself to. A lot of people love multiple blue watches or black watches, and it helps me kind of restrict myself that way, even though
Right.
there's like people would say there's millions of colors out there, but trying to narrow down the colors is the problem, tricky part.
Mr. Casio, so I answered the question on the watches. I think coins. I know exactly what I'm going to get. Ben Franklin silver dollars, silver half dollars. I'm going to start collecting those. I have a couple. My buddy Josh from the Town Watch. He sent me one. So it was actually really, really cool, really great of him, great little present. So, and I have a buddy who's in the coin business. So that's what I'm going to do next year. So I'm going to do that next year. I know.
Do,
My
do, you,
wife's
do you
going
guys
to tell
have
me.
plans for next year though? Like let's say forget about this year. Because sometimes like
Yeah.
there's short-term goals and then there's long-term next year. Because we're almost approaching the end of 2021. Funny how fast this year goes by. But 2022, like let's say Bobby, you've done the watch fast, and then November you put the deposit in, and then January 1st hits.
Yeah.
That's where a lot of people make resolutions.
Yeah, for me, I think so. This year was kind of crazy purchase wise. Like I made a lot of purchases in the beginning of the year. A couple of things like these two watches that I have here, these two German watches. Like I didn't think they were ever going to come up, or if they're going to come up, it was going to take a while, and they kind of happened both serendipitously, like within like a month or two of each other. Next year, I just need to show more self control. I'm happy with what I have. I like the strategy. I was talking to a friend of mine, and this was his strategy: one nice luxury piece, and then maybe a couple affordables here or there. And I think I like that. I think that's the strategy I'm taking. What about you guys?
I was saying the other night I had Speedmaster fatigue before I ever saw one in the metal. And then when I did, I said, "Oh, wow, I really like this." So, either I think it'll be an Omega next, probably, maybe following Sanjay's lead and getting the 39.5 millimeter Planet Ocean, one of those, or a Speedmaster. And I don't know which one just yet, but.
Those are great. I want to get at some point in time. It may not be next year, but I want to add a high beat Grand Seiko.
Nice.
I want to experience that movement, and then I want to get the Gray Side of the Moon. That's a watch that I've wanted for. It's kind of been one of those long term, because it's they keep creeping up in price.
Yeah.
And so I don't want to wait until it keeps going out of my, out of the range which I'm comfortable buying a watch. But those two, I want to get a high beat probably first.
And I think that's another gray dial watch. That's probably one of the best gray dial watches out there. We forgot to mention the Gray Side of the Moon. It's probably one of the best.
Yeah.
One more question I have for you guys: of all the watches that you bought this year, how many are still like how many have stayed like percentage wise? You don't have to say the number or anything, like just say percentage wise, like approximately how many, like so far, like this is from January to October, right? Or September. So it's been 9 months. How many, like percentage wise, like how many? So I can start while you guys think about it. Like I got 4 watches this year, and 3 have stood and the longest the watch that I just left behind. So I would say a 75%. I think the other 3 that I have bought, they're going to be keepers. One is of course the Snoopy, and then the other one is the Ed White, and then the Moser. So I think all 3 of them will be in the collection for long term. I think for me that's kind of like baseball, batting 750. I'm okay with that. I wish it was 1,000 slugging percentage, but I think 750. I feel like I can improve, of course, but I think this year I did a better job than I did last year. I think I don't know what do you guys think about, because when you think about, like, how Sanjay does he puts a log sheet on of all the watches he buys, that's day by day, month by month. But just at this point, I think third quarter wise, what do you guys think?
Not watch channel related. So like I'm not counting the watches that I bought to bring into the channel and then to flip, but personal collection. All 3 Zins that I bought this year are gone, which is bananas.
Yeah.
So these 2 have stayed. Bought a Sumo and that's stayed. So I think if those are it, and I maybe forget one or two here, but I think I'm around 50%.
500. Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
500.
That's still a good thing. Like, this is where, a lot of when we think analytically, analysis and all that number wise. How about you, Chaz?
I was sitting there thinking, I almost think I've kept every one I bought
Good.
this year,
Nice.
but it was the year before that was that made me learn the lesson for this year, because I sold off a lot of watches that I had just accumulated without any real strategy. I just see a watch, love it, get it. That watch is pretty. But
Yep.
I made a thing. I was not going to buy any more micro brands. Just going to go for the watches I really want. And so I've been more intentional this year. And I think I've kept them all.
Great.
There maybe there may be I did get a Helios because it was a really green dial Huckberry. I'm probably that one's probably gonna go. So there may be one that leaves, but I think everyone I've gotten this year has been a keeper.
Wow.
So maybe I'm growing up. you know.
My purchasing's way down this year as well. I think I have, I don't know how many. I think I'm at about 75%. Sold the 104, the limited edition from last year, the blue dial.
Ooh, yeah.
Sold the Damasco chronograph and the Omega Seamaster. But yeah, everything else is pretty much kept. So I think those are the only three I bought this year that I don't have.
I would love to have had Sanjay on the stream, because we would have had a different
Oh
numbers here.
God.
Oh yeah.
But
Serious
it's
analytics going on, trying to figure it all
Yeah.
out.
a high turnover too. So this would have been a much, but I think, it's good. It's good that we all have, been in similar kind of boats, I guess, with that thing. I'm just a little worried about 2022.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you're getting prepared for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like what in the beginning of the stream Bobby was saying, I just gave up the Longa, so there's a lot of things ready for me to pounce on stuff.
Yeah.
But it's the resolve, like, Bobby was saying, he was about to put a deposit on, and I could easily put a deposit on something, but I just feel like I need to find for the perfect opportunity.
Yeah.
Nice. Let me just run through the chat just one quick last time before we call it a night. A lot of conversations going back and forth. Pretty cool. Justin, I gotta get going. 4 a.m. comes early. Excellent. Okay. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I really, really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks all my friends who I reached out today and asked them to give me case back shots. I really do appreciate that. Chaz, Clayton, Bobby, thank you for the questions at the end. Those are really, really good questions. Thanks for adding that. Awesome. And your insight to some of the movements that we saw. Really appreciate it. And anyway, guys, again, I won't be doing the Friday night stream for the foreseeable future. I'm just switching over to Tuesday night, but we'll still be doing Sanjay and I Sunday night watch soup. And guys, thank you all, and
Thanks,
have a good
guys.
night.
Thank
Take
you.
care. All righty.
Good night.
Good night.